Hi, welcome to Gunn Multimedia Partners. I'm Michelle Gunn, and we do branding and marketing. And today I want to talk about strategy in small and mid-sized businesses and how important it is. I want everyone to fearlessly know that we believe that small businesses is the revival of our country. So let's all give each other a hand. We work really hard at getting our small business out there, and it's not an easy job. Or if you have a region that you handle and you don't know where the next lead's going to come from, we don't have those large sales staffs that's generating leads. So, you know, it's hard. Sometimes you need to take some of the guesswork out of it, and strategic planning through branding and marketing, that's how you do that. Anyway, and there's too many avenues in marketing. You know, how do you know where to put yourselves? If you ask different people, you'll get different answers. You know, where do your clients find you? Have you ever asked yourself that question? Well, this is where strategy comes into play. There's a couple ways that small business look at it. One's a silly way where you put everything on everywhere and everything you do, and you establish no style and no look, but to just bombard people with information. And essentially, this doesn't do anything for you, and but just drain your pocketbook, because once you're done with the cash, once you've depleted your budget for advertising, you just have no look and you've got no message out there, and people don't recognize you. Or you could plan through marketing and building some momentum with strategic creation. That's what we're here to talk about. Strategic creation establishes a formula for yourself and your business that you can actually put future ideas into, and you can plug them in once you've got the formula. Then you keep, you tweak it year after year, but it's for small business. I've seen people go 5 years and then they come back and we do minor tweaks to their strategies based on the market changes. With that, you now know why you're different and what it's a known demand for your products and your services. So you're able to address and speak to them directly, knowing what they're looking for. How do you figure out strategy, and how do you talk about your business? Well, you ask questions, you answer them, and you analyze those answers. This then gives you the who the audience is, what they're looking for, and how they need to hear it. Based on these answers, use the strategies, you create strategies, and you put it into strong and inviting art. Great color, imagery that the customers will respond to, because now you know who that customer is. You put it into great copywriting and digital functionality within your website, so you have some interactiveness in your digital space. We work it into brochures and rack cards and business cards, websites, bios, social media marketing posts, and Google rankings tools. So once you have the strategy, you put it through all your branding. You put it through all your tools. That's the way to get the message out. So what this does is it gives your service and your product a clear message to your consumers in their words and in the tone that they are responsive to. Okay, and it's a lot easier to hit a target when it's not moving. And regarding return on investment, okay, so you have paid for that magic 8-ball on your desk, but seriously, a marketing agency is much more functional for coming up with strategy. So anyway, that's strategy in a nutshell. This is what marketing agencies do, at least the ones that I always worked for. You don't sit there and just put out products without thinking about them first. So anyway, what I'd like to do is address some of the questions I got last week. Thank you very much, everyone, for your questions. It was great. I was able to figure out what to talk about today. So what I'd like to do, one of my questions, which was why I spoke about strategy, was describe the strategic process. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk you through a case study of one of our clients. Our client is an installation business. It's at NYS Foam and Energy. They're located in northern New York. They hired us initially to do some of their marketing tools, and they wanted us to start with their website. They had nothing in place, and we needed to figure out how to reach their potential target market. But first we had to figure out who their potential target market was. So I'm going to go to Jeffrey. Jeffrey's asking me questions today, and Jeffrey comes from an industry where they focus only on what questions to ask and what kind of strategy to build your marketing tools around. He doesn't offer marketing tools, but we do. And so what Jeffrey does is a lot more research into those questions. So I'll be using his services later in the future, I'm hoping. So I asked him to help me with some questions, asking me the questions. So who is the target? Thank you, Jeffrey. We had a few targets, but we figured with what their revenue goals were that we could get the most volume out of residences. It was older homes, people in older homes that were either fixing them up because they didn't want to move into more expensive, newer homes, or older, new home buyers that actually saw it more economical for them to move into a less expensive house and put some work into it. So it was more of an economic sort of reasoning. So based on that, we also found that there was a little bit of commercial work, but having his father in an industry that was carpentry, they already had a pool of clients that they could start selling to, which was more residential. So that was just the best target for them at this point in time. How do we make them aware of NYS Foam's service? We went to home shows where we knew the traffic was going to be home buyers, new home buyers, home owners that were looking to renovate, maybe find some easier ways to fix up their home, more economical, saving money on energy bills. We also used signage at the places that we were at. It was a two-part sign campaign where the first sign said that your neighbor is saving more on his heating bills. Wouldn't you like to also? And then the second sign was an introduction to the installers, NYS Foam, and how to reach them for more information. We used the same campaign in grocery store flyers, where it was your neighbor is saving more on heating bills, but we also added that it was easy to finance. They had worked out with the bank that they could finance through even a 10-year loan that could be directly billed through their energy bills. So that $50 uptick on your energy bill and the $75 and more savings downtick on your energy bills ended up being a win-win for everyone. And it ended up that it was more the convenience factor that the target market was enjoying. So that was also something that we wanted to talk about. We also did radio and video, and I don't want to get into it too much, but if you want to know more, I can talk to you after. Yeah, Jeffrey, how did they emotionally reach them? We were, again, using the father's pool of clients initially, as this was sort of an adjunct to his original business, which was carpentry and construction. We also had, he was ingratiated in the community. He had a lot of contacts, so that was part of it. Secondly, service. We really advertised that their service was top-notch. Although these guys were young, they put in the hours to make sure that they went to the seminars and understood the importance of following up with clients, educating the clients on exactly what they were doing, how long it was going to take, and some of the technical aspects if the clients wanted to know. They were there at the phone. They always had someone in the office answering questions, and the owners would call you themselves. They also did, they would be in and out, they were clean, and they had a lot of testimonials to that. They also came back to the clients months later after the job and asked how it was going, how their energy bills looked different, and a few of the customers actually gave them copies of the energy bills to show them the differences, and everyone was very pleased. This was a great product. So we also used those testimonials. What were their obstacles? They were young. as I had mentioned before. They were young, and on the first initial visits where they hadn't been scripted by us or sort of had any kind of management policies in place, they were sort of floundering, and they didn't have the experience to fall back on to help them. So, you know, what we did was we coached them on how to go to clients, but we also put them, and you'll see I handed everyone a flyer, a copy of their front page of their website. Across the top of the buttons, where your eye goes immediately on a website, we actually put all of their faces, and those are the bios. Their bios are written as more of an interview style, so we ask them specific questions that they can answer, and we have clients that come in and ask them questions, and we'll post them on the site and give the answers, and you get a first-hand knowledge of how experienced these guys are, and how they do know the product and how to deliver it and how to install it very well. So anyway, so that's how we combated it, with transparency. So this was one example of just one client. What I'd like to do is, if anyone wants to know, we have clients in different industries, and you guys can give me a call, give me an email, and I can explain things that are more closer to what you do. So we provide strategic consulting with beautifully developed and designed marketing and branding tools. We're Gunn Multimedia Partners. We're 10 years old, and we service all of Westchester and New York City, some of California and Florida. We deliver to our businesses and their brands the unique opportunity to create profitable and fulfilling futures with inspiring concepts. Thank you for letting me talk, and give us a call if you need anything done with your branding and your strategic planning for your marketing. Thank you.